In today's video, you join me in Rovaniemi, away up north in Finnish Lapland, as I embark on a journey south towards Poland. A journey that I regretted booking, but nobody said it was easy. Please excuse the rawness of the edit, but enjoy the video and enjoy my suffering. Right, have we got everything? I think we're good. Let's get out of here. No turning back now. Let's get to that bus station. Hiya folks, and welcome to the video I've been dreading the most. Flixbus are often referred to as the Ryanair of the roads, constantly expanding their route network and offering cheap fares to us passengers. Well, today I'm going to try them out on one of their newer and longer routes. From here, possibly their most northerly departure point anywhere, or so I thought. I might have messed up this video before it even started. As Steve Wallace would say, I'm too old for cold. And here we are at the bus station. What a beautiful sunrise beyond, eh? Let's have a wee peek inside. Oh, automatic doors, nice. There's lots of info on local buses and airport buses, but I don't see anything about Flixbus. And that's the library through there. So how have I messed this up, I hear you ask? Well, the whole point of this one was to take the most northerly Flixbus route from their most northern bus stop. And it turns out that this isn't the most northern bus stop, because about 5 miles northeast from here, you've got Santa Claus Village. And when I was researching how to get here last night, I realised that that is where this Flixbus service originates from. Although, we're still at the most northern bus station, that's for sure. Let me just double check, you can never be too careful, can you? Aye, we're definitely in the right place. So it's just a case now of watching the sunrise and waiting for that big green bus to arrive. And when it does show up, we'll be on our way to our destination of Kraków, Poland. And we should get there in about 40 hours. That kind of explains why I'm not looking forward to this one. And here's all the bus stances outside. Going to all these local places that I've never heard of before. Our bus, I'm not sure where that's going to appear from. If the bus started from here, well, of course it'd be here already, wouldn't it? And I wouldn't be hanging about outside, all anxious that I'm in the wrong place. That's the problem I've noticed with Flix. If you've used them before at some obscure bus stations, they've sometimes got no signage at all. I've certainly had my fingers burnt before by these bus companies saving a bit of money by not using the bus station itself and just arriving at some random street beside the bus station. So that's something I've got to be ready for. I've got a bag of stuff with me, mainly water, but it's certainly not enough to last me for 40 hours, that's for sure. This is a voyage of discovery for me. How many stops will we have en route? Will there be toilet stops? Will there be a toilet in the bus? These are all things you've got to think about when you're on board for that long.
Maybe it's later and so broken.
It's really interesting just watching normal life on the street here. There's like a constant stream of tractors and big lorries full of snow, just shifting the stuff about. It'd be a never-ending job, eh? That's not our bus here, is it? Maybe it's not a green one. Oh, it is. That's us, folks. And there was me expecting the big green coach. That's why you got to be ready for these things. Hello. Thank you. And right to the front. Well, there appears to be a bag in my seat and a tub of something. Can I move this as well? That's us on our way. 5 minutes in, it's okay so far. I'm kind of glad I chose this front seat because the side windows are a bit dirty, can't really see much out of those at all, but I've got a nice panoramic view out the front. And as you can see here, I've got a couple of storage pockets in front of me. The left one I've got for electronic stuff, the right one for food and drink, and I've got a bag of more stuff just underneath there. And there was enough space up top for my backpack, so aye, that's me settled. Only 39 hours to go. As you can tell, this isn't a proper Flix bus that we're on today, and that kind of surprises me for a new route, but they've got like hand-drawn stickers above the seats to show the row numbers. And interestingly, this front row is not row 1, row 1's the row behind us. So I feel quite lucky to be in this seat, to be honest. On the downside though, I haven't found any USBs yet, so I'll have to be very careful conserving batteries for the camera and for my phone. This could be tricky. It really is a winter wonderland up here, and the local council obviously do a grand job of keeping these roads clear. Now, I've got a bit of a strategy for this 2,000 kilometre, 5-country mammoth journey, and that is just to sit back and enjoy the scenery on this first day and try and get to that ferry in Helsinki, which will take us across to Tallinn. I think we're going to get there around about 10 PM. I'm not sure if we go on the coach or if we go on as foot passengers, but if I can survive that long, then we're well on our way to completing this challenge. That's us just over an hour and a half in, and we've stopped at Kemi. Now this is our first stop, and I can remember Kemi from the train when we were coming up here, and it's kind of reminding me how much more we've got to do just to get to Helsinki, never mind Kraków. I bought me these little treats in Helsinki, but the funny thing is neither of us realised how disgusting they were. Strong licorice pastels, salty in taste. So my challenge is not just to get to Kraków, but it's to finish this little packet. That's us 4 hours in now, so we just pulled into a lay-by and had our first driver change. It's been okay so far, but we've just been driving into a big sun, so there's been very little to see, to be honest, but aye, we're doing alright.
Five-minute break.
So just about 10 minutes after we stopped to change driver, we've stopped again. The good news, we've got a break. The bad news, it's only for 5 minutes. I think the driver just needed to go to the toilet, so I'm not going to wander too far from the coach. That'd be a bad idea, wouldn't it? But it's nice to stretch the legs and get a bit of fresh air. It's not actually too cold here, and the journey's been okay so far. The only problem's been driving into that big sun the whole way. That's just been relentless. Seven and a half hours in, and that's us just arriving into the one place on the board that I can't even try to pronounce. Still nothing more than that 1 5-minute break so far. But at least the sun's gone. It's cloudy now, it'll be dark soon. I think it's going to be a long evening. I think they were expecting passengers there, but nobody turned up. We hung about for a while, and that's us on our way again. I kind of hoped they'd given us a wee break, but no such luck. This is where we are now, and at 10 minutes this is the longest break we've had so far. I think we're about 8 or 9 hours in, and we've stopped in this tiny place. It's not exactly the best place to have a break, to be honest. There's no toilets, there's no shops, there's nothing. We're just a little bus stop. Oh well. And not only that, but the guys have been out checking the lights in the bus. I don't think they're working properly. It's high beam or something, and they were actually just banging on the lights on the front. And one guy's over there just peeing against the wall. If you've got to go, you've got to go. And talking of going, I think that's us. Right, have I got everything? I'll explain all this in just a moment, folks. Goodbye, bus. I was caught a bit off guard there. I had all my stuff out on the bus, and then the guy said, no, finish. So that's all they told us. So we just got off the bus. It appears that that one doesn't go to Tallinn. I think we just go on as foot passengers, and then another bus is going to pick us up, but I wish they'd told us that, to be honest. So I've got all my stuff now. I just quickly stuffed it into my bags. I was hoping to go on without any bags, but there we go. I'm tired as well. I think I'll just follow these people. Will this work? No. Access denied. Oh, that's me. But I'm not German. Well, that part was easy. It spat out a boarding pass, and I think now this will work at the barriers. See, trying to carry all my stuff though and still film it, this isn't easy, especially when you're tired. And it's funny because as we're leaving the bus, people were asking me questions. What do I do? What do I do? And I was like, I've got no idea. I've never done this before either. I don't think you'll be able to see the Megastar over there, but that is the ship that we will be on very shortly. Alright Steve, relax. I've had a chance just to drop off my bags and all my stuff, which is quite a lot because not only the stuff I'm travelling with, but when you're going to be in a coach for 40 hours, you have some supplies, and I got quite settled in and had to hastily grab it all and get off that bus when they were just like, finish, off, off. But here we are in the ferry terminal, and a very nice ferry terminal it is too. And the thing is, I'd got an email from the ferry company before we did the trip, and it was saying, don't worry, they'll tell you everything on the coach of what to do when you get to the terminal. I of course thought that the coach would be going on the ferry with us, and that's why all my stuff was just laid out everywhere. But that is of course not the case now, and they didn't give us any information, so we kind of had to work that out for ourselves. But we're here now. I wish I had time to visit that cafe, but I don't think I do. Everyone's heading over this way. Aye, so the ferry leaves Helsinki at 10:30 and gets into Tallinn at midnight. Does that mean everything on board will be closed? I hope not. I've heard good things about Tallinn though, and it's always nice to squeeze a wee ferry journey into a video, isn't it? I really hope I've got everything off the coach. I didn't even have time to look down the side of the seat, and when you've been in that seat for so long, there's always a chance that something's fallen. My priority on this 2-hour crossing is not myself, but my devices. I want to try and find a socket or a USB so I can charge the batteries. I do have a power pack with me, but I want to keep that topped up. There's still a long way to go. Hi. But it looks like a nice quiet crossing this evening. We shouldn't have any problems. Oh, and there's still a cafe open. That's what we like to see. At least I think it is. They're tidying up. I just checked, and yes, the cafes and the other restaurants are open for the full crossing, so I've just got to find somewhere to dump the bags and plonk myself down as well. But first impressions, it's a very nice ferry. And as you can see, empty. And I've got to say, for good or for bad, that's the first time I've seen a Burger King on a ferry. What do you think? Is that a good addition? Oh, and look at this, we've got a horse lamp. That's like the one at Heathrow, isn't it? Is it British Airways? I must admit, the first thing that comes to mind as we wander around is, this is far too nice for a 2-hour crossing. Ah, I've got a game on tonight, have we? Who's that? Mallorca. Yes, I've come into Burger King because it's no think food, isn't it? It's easy, it's cheap. I mean, this was only €12, and as you can see here, Burger King in Europe is a lot better than Burger King in the UK. And I can also charge my devices, so I'm getting some power in the GoPro batteries and the phone. Of course, it feels a bit weird not going outside when a ferry's departing, doesn't it? I should be out on deck at the moment, but it's dark, for one. And for two, that's the downside of solo travel, isn't it? That you've got to take all your stuff with you, and like I say, I want to keep all my things plugged in and charging at the moment. Oh, that looks really good to be fair, although I don't know how it's going to sit in my belly when I'm back on that coach. I knew this would get messy. So how's the journey been so far? Well, to be honest, it's been alright because I started it with low expectations. The only things really missing so far are information on the coach and stops. We only had like a 10-minute and a 5-minute stop, neither of which gave you enough time to go and find a toilet, so that could have been a problem, you know. I think there is one on board, but I just refused to use it. Sorry, it's that light above me that's to blame for the red glow in my face. It's not just tiredness. The only other thing I was thinking, apart from the drivers being really good at the driving bit, was we would go to some of the stops and it'd be a massive diversion from the route, and then you would get there and no passengers would get on or off. It's a shame they don't know that in advance, so they can just drive on to the next stop and then maybe give us some more time there to get off, stretch the legs, go to the toilet, all the essential stuff, you know, because when you're on a coach for a long time, that's important. Honestly though, it feels so good to be charging the batteries. I was getting, what is it, EV owners call it? Range anxiety. Oh, that's us just past the 14-hour mark. In my hotel tonight, a Flix bus seat. Right, I'm going to move. Let's go and find some footy on the TV. I'm such a mess, seriously.
Dear passengers, welcome to Tallinn. The air temperature in Tallinn is -1 degree.
Oh right, here we go again. Let's go and find a bus. I'll need to come back and give this ferry a proper review sometime, but it'll need to be a return trip because, like I say, 2 hours just isn't enough. Right, what we're looking for, deck 8. Well, this certainly looks like the bus stop, all the stances, but there's only one bus and it's not green, and I don't mean the police car. I must admit it's a bit worrying when you don't see any buses or recognise any fellow passengers from the first one. It is sold as a through service, so I don't think it's the kind of bus you should have to wait for in sub-zero temperatures at 1 o'clock in the morning. It should be here. Oh no, hold on, I do recognise someone. That's a good sign. Oh, come on, Flixbus, where are you? I genuinely thought the bus would get on the ferry with us and take us all the way. How naive was I? Oh, I can see a Flixbus. Please be ours, I'm starting to get cold. Follow that bus. This is actually hilarious, right? We're on this bus until 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and I've paid for 2 seats from Flixbus. But they're insisting in putting all their gear on the floor and in the seat next to me, and tell me to wear a seatbelt so that I can't actually stretch my legs out. Of course, I've got no problem wearing a seatbelt, but it was only me they were picking on, and only to make a point. Being annoyed by me sitting in seats they'd rather have their gear in, when I'd paid for the seats, and these were my seats unlike on the last bus, is really not cool. And when I eventually got them to look at my ticket again, they backed down but without apology. I was raging. This is the worst service I've ever had, and it took me ages to get some sleep. Eventually though, I did get to that semi-conscious state, which is as near as you'll ever get to actually sleeping on a coach, and I woke up having no idea where we were. A quick check of the map suggested country number 4, Lithuania, but the scenery here was nothing to write home about, and it made for a dull start to day number 2 on the road. We passed a few service stations and I was dreaming of a stop for a break, but dream on. We even slowed down at this one, but it was only for speed bumps in the road, and we just kept going. Oh well. Somewhere in Lithuania at the moment, and the towns and villages that we're passing through are almost as sleepy as me. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night, and no, there's not many people about here. But the reason I speak to you just now is because we've just hit the 24-hour mark. It's 8:45 in the morning. I feel like we're going to do this. We're at just this little random bus stop again. He just said something, opened the door. I'm not sure if it's a break or not, but I'm very tempted to get out. My knees are really starting to hurt now. This is becoming painful. No, that was just a false break, I'm afraid. Just as well I didn't get off. The next few hours was possibly the hardest part of the whole trip. It felt really slow and was very stop-start, so sorry if it also looks that way in the video. This certainly wasn't the easiest one to edit, that's for sure. But a break wasn't far away now, and country number 5 was almost in sight. Oh, we've got a 10-minute stop. Oh boy, it's hard to even walk. I'm not sure what we can do in 10 minutes, but stretching the legs is not a bad idea. Well, yet again, the philosophy of these Flix bus drivers seems to be drive, drive, drive. We never seem to get breaks. It's just like the last leg. This time it's the first 10-minute break we've had, and we're about 10.5 hours into this one. And where have we stopped? We stopped just outside Vilnius, where the feels like temperature is -11. Right, I'm taking no chances. Let's get back on board. Down the hatch. It was nice to have a stop, but when they say 10 minutes, I'm back on the bus in 5. I'm taking no chances. And I just had a bit of bad news as well, because I just realised when we cross into Poland, we go back 1 hour. So that means an extra hour over what I was estimating to get into Kraków. Oh well. Airport? Well, airfield. Yes folks, on a 40-hour bus journey, I had to do it. First time for everything. Another quick check on the map showed we were about to cross our final border into Poland, where we were met with a żabka and the only passport check of the whole journey. It was slow, but it was all built into the schedule. Cześć. Dobry paszport. Dziękuję. There was quite a thorough passport inspection at the border. They even took mine away for closer inspection, but the good news is they let me through. The bad news, that's us going back an hour now, and we arrive into Kraków still at 10:35 PM. Look at the text from a mobile provider. Welcome to Finland. Welcome to Estonia. Welcome to Latvia. Welcome to Lithuania. Welcome to Poland. I've got a few reasons to be a bit biased, but I love Poland, and we were met with a flurry of snow as well as some towns I'd like to come back for a closer look at. As you'll see shortly, it was dark by the time we got into the capital of Warsaw, but that also signalled the final stretch into Kraków. We're almost there, folks.
Białystok. Bezpieczny Białystok. Aktualizował Białystok.
My kneecaps feel like they're detached. We've made it. Goodbye bus, I'm not going to miss you. So that 39 hours was my first dip into super long distance coach travel. Did I enjoy it? No. Would I do it again? Probably not. Unless this video really flies off the shelf, of course. So it's really up to you if you'll see me in one of those coaches again. The last couple of hours was the worst because that's when you really start looking at your watch. And when you start doing that, time just stands still. Right, I think we go this way. Try and find our accommodation for tonight. Oh, lots of activity still going on here. So I think I'll end things there. What did you think of the video? What did you think of that journey? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Oh, and a shout out to the couple who were sitting next to me. They went all the way from Rovaniemi to Warsaw. They got off at Warsaw and said they would watch the video. So, hi guys, thanks for watching. We deserve a medal, don't we? Ah, hi Kraków.